Hello and welcome as we head into Monday, the 13th day of February 2017. My name is Derek. Welcome. And let's take a look at both the silver and Bitcoin daily charts. As I've added a couple moving averages, which would be this purple line. It's a simple 973-day moving average. And then this rising one at 243 days to help represent the 50 and the 200-week moving average that a lot of traders and a lot of people are looking at as well, and in particular because of the golden cross setup that is in play. That will be when this line rises above this one. And for that to take place, it really has to have a nice break above 18. And that's exactly where the market is priced in at now within that test of such. And the reason why I'm using the weirder numbers like 243 and 973 is just simple estimations. And that over 50 weeks, I would guess that around 243 days would be in play, as there's holidays like Christmas and New Year's and Good Friday and so many others in which the market just doesn't trade. And the 973, same thing. At least for my data purposes, it works out. And it will give me the numbers here. These are the exact same numbers. This number is like 2 cents higher than what I got on another chart. But key numbers to look at. It's eventually going to cross over if this thing breaks out. If this goes sideways, then these numbers, these moving averages will just jam together. And if this thing tops and it starts to go down, then what's going to happen is this moving average is going to start to roll over and stay below this one, which will obviously keep descending as it's doing and such. So that's why overall you really don't need to see much more than just know then if it has a solid breakout well above the 18 mark, then the golden cross is happening or about to happen very soon. As far as the momentum is concerned, it's really a continuation from Friday. It started that session down below here, has been going higher, and not shown on this chart is a bull flag because it went all the way up and then has just been going sideways, with resistance coming in at 18 so far. The psychological number, that's interesting how this happens so many times. 18, 19, that's where you have the big rallies and sell-offs. That's just where they stop. Just something to keep in mind as this keeps on moving forward. And I still think it's got a good chance today probably of at least testing another percent higher, but who knows where the potential lies. This thing has been in a solid uptrend, and as I've stated before, very common to have 9 consecutive up weeks in a row. It just concluded 7 heading in. So there is the silver analysis. Now let's move in to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is really in this let's see what happens stage on this range, the 18 average band. And the range is between 964 and 1005, meaning it needs to get above 1005 to break out of this range today, and it needs to break below 964 to get below it. And within this range, it's the correctionary phase from this last leg higher. It's already found support once at the previous resistance. And because of the rebound that it occurred after that support test, this 18 rising band is just that, rising. So the next day, if it keeps going, the numbers would go up to like 967 and or 966 and maybe 1006. They would just go up within the rate of ascent, which right now isn't that large. Also within the volatility, we can see that session today is just like a couple hours in, so it doesn't count really. But yesterday's session, which would have been Sunday, and Saturday's session with very microscopic volatility, unable to get above the previous day's high, but holding extremely well because well, you can see just within the range is very, very tight. So I'm looking on the break above this range, which is like 105, and then you can recalculate it to the numbers you see on your chart. And 1005 is 5 pips higher than the current high. So breaking above that level significantly, you'd be looking for two levels of resistance, the previous two highs of 1050 and then 1100. And based on how it's playing out, I think on any moves up to 1050 is going to be very difficult to determine if it's a solid resistance level where you'd expect maybe to come back to do at least something like that, or just keep going higher as it could just keep going up to this point here. I still think coming to 11 has a better shot of being resistance than breaking out above it in the near term when it occurs. But just like this goes from 11 down to 750, I wouldn't expect as deep of a retracement. And as this was very probable to be resistance, any moves moving back up there becomes less probable for such. The Fibonacci level, I got so many indicators that loom close to 1400, not only from a couple math numbers that I've done and the simple eye test as well, but I've heard just different other alternate sites that I've just listened to say the same thing. So I wouldn't be surprised on a break above here if that number becomes significant in at 1388. So thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.